Okay, seriously, where did this come from? It was bright and shiny like 30 seconds ago, and then all of a sudden this. Holy cow, I mean, we got a bunch of hail. It looks like it lightly snowed outside. Where? Okay, so that footage that I just showed you, that was from this past Tuesday. And what ended up happening was there were very sporadic storms that popped up where we got severe thunderstorm warnings. It was at a high risk, and like usually you'll be like in like a red area for that. Well, this was pink. Like it was dropping massive amounts of hail and wind and rain, which was really weird. It like literally came out of nowhere. Basically there were 3 little storms that popped up, and then they were gone after like 20 minutes or a half hour. But throughout the week they basically popped up every now and then throughout the area. And I get it with this system, with the warm system and the cool systems moving constantly in the summer, like storms can pop up literally out of nowhere, and I totally get that. But man, I should have been a meteorologist. But I hope you guys are doing fantastic. I'm doing great. The place, one of the condos in this area just went up for sale, and it's sold within like maybe a week, 2 weeks. So I went and looked at the thing, and it's sold from what mine was when I bought it, and it's only a 1-bedroom with a 1-bath. Mine's a 2-bedroom and a 2-bath. I mean, and that one was immaculate. So there is definitely work I need to do on my place to get it up to where I want. I'm thinking about starting the stuff in the fall. We are going to have to paint over the kitchen, and I think the living room might be painted over as well. I was going to go with like each room has its own thing, but after seeing how some of these houses are, like getting some ideas at IKEA, it's just better to go all modern. Like all modern is a big selling point for a lot of people. It's very clean, crisp. It looks very nice to like first home buyers and younger generations, and that's kind of what this place is meant for. It's meant for first-time homeowners. So I'm looking forward to starting that in the fall. Order some pizzas, get some stuff painted, maybe get some new countertops depending on how much they are. But yeah, that's about it so far. But yeah, I'm just gonna hit the hay and stop rambling, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Great, and the lens fogged up. That is insane. Look at that. Oh, got some lightning going on over there. It's already starting to drizzle. Just windy as hell right now. This is not looking good. Oh, bye birdies. Just look at some of those clouds. Oh, it's starting to rain. I should probably go inside. And the internet is out. That's been out for roughly about 40 minutes at this point. Sorry about my thing fogging up a little bit in the corner there. Stupid decision to take it outside, especially with the way the heat is. It didn't dawn on me until as soon as I stepped out, and then the humidity hit me like a sack of bricks. But yeah, the humidity is insane. But I want to go into a little bit of what the video game thing is that I was talking about before. Alright, so my shirt was a little wet from running outside to go grab something from the car, so I had to change real quick, but let's just jump right into this. I wanted to, basically, I'm going to have to go through each one of my consoles and all of my video games to see which ones would make good Let's Play series and good one and dones, because there are some games that I'm just not going to click well enough with to be engaged, and unless I maybe have somebody here to play the game with, but there are some games where the conversation is not there. Skyrim, I can make it happen. Dragon Quest XI, I can make it happen, but it's harder with some games that I'm that drawn into to keep a good conversation going. So that's what I kind of have to look into. Not to mention, I want to try and keep nudity or any kind of sexual content, I want to keep it at a low amount on the channel, if at all, if there's any. But I'd rather not. So like, I want to play Wolfenstein, just because I think that game is insanely cool, but there's a pretty good amount of adult content in there too, so I kind of want to stay away from that. So I may have to like blur some stuff out, maybe skip a scene or two here or there, and I'd rather not do that because I rather not act in censorship on stuff like that. So if I can stay away from it, the less work I have to do, the better I am. But looking at my list, going through games like the PS4 and any game, actually, any system that runs off of HDMI is going to be easiest to stream other than the computer, mainly because of this reason right here. This is my Elgato Game Capture HD. It is what I use to hook up my systems to stream or record. And the cool thing about this is the older model, which is kind of expensive now. I got it way back when it was the normal standard. But this one can actually do both HDMI in and AV in. So it's really, really handy. The only issue is with a lot of the stuff with the AV, it doesn't always have the best connection. So I ended up having to get and I'll show a picture of it right now. I ended up getting a AV to HDMI converter. And it works wonders. It's amazing. I can play anything that just takes the regular AV cords and plug it into an HDMI converter, and it runs it perfectly into the end of this thing. So this thing is pretty darn handy. But looking into like some of the games, what I'm doing is making a list on the side here, my YouTube list. I have the main list, I have the cleanup list, which is basically games that I really enjoyed that I want to go back and 100% completionist style plow through the game. Those are games that I would put on cleanup. Those are games that are going to take a while to complete. Whereas just going through and finish the game is me going through the main portion of the campaign or seeing the ending of it. Seeing the credits is a huge portion of that. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it. Right now I'm just going through putting down a listing of games that I would like to see. They're not final, but these are games that I would like to see, and I'm going slowly through each list. I have all my games categorized on the bottom by system, and then alphabetically. So I have to go through all of them and figure out which ones I want to do that with, and that's a pretty substantial thing in that I now have 1,074 games to go through. I don't think I'm going to be streaming anything from the Commodore 64, and if I do, I'll find it online rather than trying to hook up that archaic system to an HDMI cord. I don't think that's possible unless they make a weird conversion kit for it. I don't know. But yeah, that's basically the whole gaming thing in a nutshell. All right, and switching gears real quick over to something that has to do with cars. I'm gonna be, after we get done with the project at work that we're currently working on, I'm actually thinking about trading my car in. I'm going to get it down to an amount that I still have to pay on it that I feel comfortable with trading it in and getting a car that actually fits my needs, because I'm tired of driving Mario Kart around 24 hours a day. I hate it. It's too small. It's a good car, don't get me wrong. Gas mileage is amazing, but with the Subaru, it's just way too small for me. So I got to get a big boy vehicle, and I want to get an SUV. I can't go the big hog on an SUV or a truck because I just can't afford it. But I figure if I can do like a low tier to mid-size SUV, that's something I can afford. And for the first time in my life, at least, I can finally, maybe, hopefully, afford a brand new vehicle, because the Subaru, the Yukon, the F-150, they've all been used vehicles, and the Yukon was an 02. The F-150 was an 03, the Subaru was a 16, and I'm hoping this one could be a 21. And when it comes to a vehicle, I'll let the Jeep stuff play in the background, but when it comes to a vehicle, I have a view that I'm trying to appeal with the vehicle. I want something with class. I want something that I can take cross country. I can show up to an event and it looks really nice, but I can also take it a little off-road if I need to, just in case I need to. But I don't want to get it. It's not meant to go off-road all the time. It's not that kind of a vehicle. I don't have that kind of a job. But then the big thing is price. I'm not going to go broke buying this vehicle. I want to make sure I can find something that's within my budget, that I'm not just basically killing myself financially for. The first one up is a Jeep, and it's a beautiful car. Don't get me wrong. It's very sporty looking. It does have a hint of class to it just because of how sleek it looks. The issue for me is price. And when you look at a lot of vehicles, and I hate this about SUVs. I feel with SUVs, it should be a mandatory. It should either come with all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. That's what you should be able to pick. I don't believe an SUV should come with two-wheel drive, whether it's front or rear. I don't believe that. That's not what they're made for. If you want something with front-wheel drive, get a van. Get a or with front-wheel or rear-wheel drive, get a van or get a car or something like that. SUVs were meant for safety and long traveling and just holding a lot of capacity. And let's be honest, if you're holding a lot of kids in an SUV, you want safety, you want all-wheel drive, you want four-wheel drive. So that's awesome, but this doesn't come standard with it. So to bump this up to all-wheel drive, you're now looking at like $28,000-$29,000, and that's just getting out of my wheelhouse as far as a price goes. Maybe I can hit a deal with them. I'm not sure. We'll see. But next up, or in number 2 place, is a Subaru Forester. And the Subaru Forester is a pretty solid car. It's got a really good background with it. It's been around for quite a while. It is a... first of all, the price is phenomenal. And it comes automatic standard with all-wheel drive. And Subaru's all-wheel drive is pretty solid. It's been around for a long time. And they keep just making it better and better. The thing about it is that it does have a bit of a classy look to it, but it's more so leaning on the sporty cross-country type of traveling, and that's fine. But there's a car that just tips this out at being maybe more class, but still having just a little bit of sport to it. And I'm kind of leaning towards this other car, and that is the Mazda CX-5. It does tip more so, like I said, in the class category, and that's cool. Starts off at $25,000. You do have to switch it over to all-wheel drive, which bumps it up to about $27,000, $28,000. I may be able to bump that down a little bit if I can sell my Subaru and get what Kelley Blue Book is asking for a trade-in. If I can do that, I could put down a sizable down payment, and that's going to be what tips me to this car or the Forester, I believe. So those are the 3 cars I'm looking at right now. If you guys have any recommendations for SUVs that look like they have class, that look like they're a pretty decent size, a pretty good price, leave comments down below. I'm totally open for looking at cars. As long as it's not a Toyota or a Honda, I'm totally fine. I just can't really get into their vehicles. It's been a long thing for me. But yeah, if you have any recommendations, make sure to leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll definitely take a look at them. So now that all that mumbo jumbo is done with the gaming stuff and the car stuff, I don't want to bore you anymore with that. But we got the 2 cabinets finally finished. I was waiting for someone to come over to help me put together the second one. My dad stopped over, thank him for that. We finally got the second one done, which is it was meant for my Star Wars stuff, and the other one was meant for Pop Funkos. So I'm going to show you those and then show you what they look like, because they turned out really nice. Alright, so for starters, the Pop Funko one for Disney stuff turned out really well. I absolutely love this one. I kind of wish I could have taken the larger ones, because I have 3 large Disney ones, and I wish I could have placed them over here and then have all the Pop Funko figures on top of them. But it didn't work out that way, because they were just too wide to cover that spot, which is kind of unfortunate. But I did with what I could, and it turned out really well. Now moving to this side. And I love this side. This is awesome. All my Star Wars stuff, Legos, all the Pop Funko figures, the collectibles I got from Disney trips. Absolutely love this. It also cleared up 4 of the spots down here, so I may have to buy more Legos, more Star Wars Legos. I'm pumped. I got the lightsaber in there as well, right there. That I would like to get an actual stand for, and take off the acrylic blade and just get a stand and put the stand maybe up there or over here, and maybe do something with these Legos as well. So besides these, I got my Millennium Falcon out in the living room, which you guys have seen before. But it looks like I can maybe add a few more, so who knows. My next Disney trip I may have to pick up a couple more. We'll see. But yeah, those glass cabinets are awesome. I think they came in at like $60 from IKEA. So we just put the order in, I went and picked them up and found them, and it was awesome. They went together fairly easy too. It just takes two people to do it for some of it, because you need somebody to basically hold the glass panel up while you're putting on the trim, or putting on some component while you need the other person to hold the glass. So definitely have two people when you're doing that. I did the first one by myself and it sucked. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care and peace out.